This is such a great story. This kind of warms my heart. Russia strips Ukrainian oligarchs. I love how they're tossing oh, we're oligarchs? No, you're the oligarchs of Crimean property. Major cement and shipbuilding plants will now be owned by the state. Since the war in Ukraine started, we've seen everyone in the West ban anything and everything that is Russian or was once Soviet, right? From books, Dostoevsky, musicians, composers, athletes, food, grocery store products, vodka, whatever. It has gotten the ban hammer. And I don't mean the Pelosi ban hammer, I mean the ban hammer. It has been banned from said countries. Now, what's interesting about this is that the Russians really haven't responded with any measures of their own. You know, even at a time when we're seeing like all these Russian oligarchs getting their yachts seized, their real estate holdings seized, the Russians are quite literally getting their dollar reserves seized, like everything is getting frozen or seized, stolen. The Russians haven't responded in kind until now. This is such a great story. This kind of warms my heart. Russia strips Ukrainian oligarchs. I love how they're tossing oh, we're oligarchs? No, you're the oligarchs of Crimean property. Major cement and shipbuilding plants will now be owned by the state. Russian officials have nationalized more than 130 properties in Crimea that previously belonged to Ukrainian oligarchs who have been supporting Kiev in this conflict with Moscow. Vladimir Konstantinov, the head of the Republic's State Council, revealed on Wednesday. He wrote on Telegram that Crimean officials had been thinking about nationalizing enterprises located on the territory of the peninsula and owned by Ukrainian oligarchs for a long time. According to Konstantinov, the registry of enterprises subject to nationalization features properties of, quote, foreign citizens and states that have been committing unfriendly actions against Russia. Okay, this is different, though, from what Russia's been doing in the DPR, LPR, Zaporozhye, and Kherson regions. In those regions, of course, we've seen Russia go in, take land, take over public and private production facilities, right? This is actually in Crimea, which has been Russian sovereign land since 2014 when the Crimeans voted to join the Russian Federation by like a margin of 86%. But these Ukrainian oligarchs were still allowed to do business there, and they did extensive business in Crimea up until now. So this is a sea change from previous policies. It's interesting that they waited this long. So, yes, this is a measure against individuals that have been committing unfriendly actions against Russia. It includes some major plants, such as cement plant Stroyindustria, Bakhchusare, and the Zaliv shipyard in Kerch. For us, this measure is an act of justice. We cannot allow accomplices of the Ukrainian NAZI regime to earn money on our territory. And why should they? This is exactly what all of the West says about Russia. They say, you're funding Putin's war machine. Okay, well, they probably don't want to fund Zelensky's war machine either. He added that it would be even fairer to transfer the property to the defenders who risk their lives on the front line of the special military operation. That would be based if they took the Ukrainian private property and split the revenues and the land amongst the frontline fighters of the Russian Federation. That would be based. Later in an interview on Rossiya 24, Konstantinov revealed that provisional administrations have been appointed at all the nationalized enterprises. Quote, people who used to work there keep working. There are no problems, he reassured. Wednesday's announcement came 2 days after the head of Crimea, Sergei Aksinov, ordered the nationalization of the property of organizations and individuals associated with the Kiev authorities. He revealed the initial plans to nationalize the property of Ukrainian oligarchs and politicians who supported Kiev back in March, soon after Russia launched its special military operation in Ukraine. He said at the time that many Ukrainian officials, including President Volodymyr Zelensky, owned property on the peninsula. Now, I'd imagine that they waited to finalize all the deals. Maybe they thought that it was a possibility that they could use some of this private property in negotiations with the Ukrainians, say, hey, look, if we agree to the terms of a peace deal, we can etch out some understanding, some common understanding surrounding these private properties. We won't nationalize them, for instance. But that never happened. And now the Ukrainians are launching terror attacks left and right in Russia and in Crimea, which is also Russia. And the Russians have effectively said, get fucked. Here's a taste of your own medicine. Thanks for watching that episode of The Dive. If you enjoyed what you saw, be sure to drop a like, subscribe, comment below, and be sure to share this video with your friends. Also, my YouTube channel has now been permanently demonetized by YouTube because of the truth that we tell here. For that reason, I'm asking you to join as a supporter on my Locals community, which you can find linked below in the description of this video or in the comment section. When you join as a donor on Locals, you get access to my weekly private live streams, all of my private content, and the opportunity to ask questions to the guests that I bring here on our show, such as Glenn Greenwald, Colonel Douglas McGregor, and Ron Paul. Thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. I'll see you back here next time.